But essentially what happened was in 2005, 2006, 2007, everything we were doing in Los Angeles in promotional marketing was working fine. Thank you. It was cooking. I could go out every day and find us new business, and some days I would purposely not do that because we already had too much to work on. We were doing contracts with major studios, Hallmark Channel, Universal, Warner Brothers, all of that, Capitol Records, all of these big names, and they wrote big checks. And I got very used to doing that and being able to pick up on that. I got to the point where I was rather arrogant about it. I even started knocking out things like going after pharmaceutical companies in another state and winning a contract.
Lights, camera, action. We're back for your satisfaction from Action Business Furniture Studios is where it's happening. We have a special guest star appearance today from Dave Ribble.
Yeah,
give it up for Dave. Hi. Last but not least, your host, John Byron. Take it away, John.
Good. It's 3 o'clock on Friday. I'm actually distracted myself with the Facebook feed, so I just switched that. Welcome everybody at home. Welcome everybody in the room. Thank you all for being here. This is super exciting. Dave, I've been looking forward to this conversation since, well, honestly, since we met, but I'm going to more on that later.
No pressure there, John.
No pressure at all.
No
No pressure.
pressure.
Yeah, no pressure for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you're not feeling any.
No.
I know you perform well under pressure.
No. I don't know. I appreciate being here. So thanks so much.
Glad to have you. We're gonna kick things off like we always do. We're gonna introduce the voices in the room. So we're gonna go around to my left. Everybody's gonna introduce themselves, say your name, your industry, your business name, if you want to specifically specify that. And then one thing we like to do is we really like to encourage event promotion in the sense that we want people to be involved in the community. So if you're going to an event this week, if you're planning an event and you want to invite people to it, or you just heard about an event that you think people should go to, but you're going to be out of town, this is a great time to promote those events. We'd love to hear about that and what you're up to. So very quickly, just a quick hi, how are you? Let us know who you are. And for those of you watching live or on YouTube, there should be comments with the names of the different people that are participating. So if you want to know a little bit more about Steve Hicks as an example, as a health coach, you're on the screen, so I'm calling you up.
I know, on screen eating broccoli.
Yes.
At least it's a vegetable.
Just get busted eating candy or
It's on
brownies.
It's on brand.
So we're gonna start to my left and we're gonna go around and introduce yourselves.
Hello, everyone. My name's Paz Rainbow. I work with Globe Life Family Heritage Division. My company is called Rainbow Financial Protection. Basically, what I do is I share a program with people that pays them cash directly if they get hurt or sick. And I'm different from everyone else because all of my policies come with a 100% return of all your premiums. So it's there to get you through in a pinch, but it's just a long-term tax-free savings account if nothing happens to you.
Awesome. Welcome.
All right, Rob Bruder with Idic Designs. If you are looking to better your technology relationship and get the results that you need for your business, I encourage to sit down and have a conversation with me. One little bit of market research I'm doing right now is in the area of password management. I have a new service I'm thinking about building in which you not only have your password secure and available, but you also have a backup in case something were to happen to you. There would be somebody who would know and understand all your access to passwords and what needs to run your business. So that's my thing that's going on.
Love it. I just use password. Is that
Yeah.
getting? Oh yeah.
That'll get you by.
Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Mandy Karstensen, My Mortgage Mandy with Q Home Loans. I know as a business owner, there can feel and are a lot of obstacles, particularly to your type of situation, whether you're 1099 or just running, your full own business. So I'd love to brainstorm with you. We have a lot of specific solutions to that. And then an event that I always love, on Thursdays at Burbity, Light Feet does a whole range of dance lessons. So there are multiple levels, lots of different styles of dance, and then there's open dance. So it's just a really fun way to build community, learn some new fun skills, and it starts at 6:30 every Thursday at Burbity. And they even have some on Wednesdays too, so check them out.
Very cool.
I'm Brian. I run a small medical simulation company called Medcar AR. Just moved here to Spokane about a month ago. And what we do is, well, you may already know this, but cardiac arrests happen in hospitals about every 2 minutes for adults somewhere in the United States, every 35 minutes for pediatric patients somewhere in the United States. So what we do is we create these augmented reality replicas of medical cards that nurses use in those emergencies so they can be familiar with the contents of the card, because oftentimes they're learning in the emergency, and that's not the exact best time to be learning. And so I don't know anything that's happening in Spokane.
All right, you're in the right place.
But I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. Thank you.
Joshua, I'm a recent MBA grad and I'm getting my feet wet in the consulting industry.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Welcome.
I'm Sheree Sauer, owner of Success Without Sacrifice. And I really took my background in sports psychology and sports medicine to help myself overcome burnout and help other business owners and teams overcome burnout. Let's see, what else? There is an event, an AI workshop coming up for our Connect August 19th. I think that's 3 weeks. So 3 weeks from now, 11 a.m. So if you are interested in increasing efficiency in your business for AI, I'm not teaching the workshop. I'm just helping host it. But that's at Burbity Workspaces, August 19th.
Awesome.
I'm Janice Byron. I am Jonathan Byron's mom visiting. Yay! And I am just fascinated and have learned so much from the few weeks I've been here. And I intend to start listening on Facebook or YouTube. So, yay.
Glad you're here.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah, and I am the founder of the Up and Atom Foundation, and we are working on our first project, which is Spokane Inner Peace Park. I'm looking to counter the winter blues that many families experience here, plus engage families in more science, hands-on science. I think that it's time. Plus, I am looking to get teenagers and just families in general off their screens and doing more things in person together. I think that's really important. We are having an event come up here. We're going to be at the Garland on Pride. That's August 16th. So come out and see our booth. We'll have some sciencey fun things to do and some things to hand out. And then we are having our own event at the end of August. It'll be at the Moran Prairie Library. It's called Drawn to Science. So kids, families, adults can come out and participate in either drawing, coloring, painting, whatever science means to them. So we're kind of smashing art and science together. And there's no judgments, just good time, and we'll have some snacks and some food. So go to our page. It's really easy to remember. It's www.freescience4all.org.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Welcome.
Well, I'm Steve Hicks. I developed a simple and sustainable approach to fitness that ultimately gives my clients more energy, more health, giving them more life.
Love it.
Really?
So I'm Heidi Simmons. I'm with Empower and Engage, and I help moms raise confident, resilient, independent kids. And I have a 5-day challenge coming up on Monday. And since summertime is kind of unstructured, sometimes there's a lot of chaos and there might be some extra yelling going on in the home. And so this is going to be 5 days, 1 shift, and a whole lot of calm at the end. So, and you can find information on my Facebook or contact me through I have a message on there.
Yes,
or a
okay.
comment
Yes,
or
perfect.
whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, find me.
Welcome.
Hey, I am Gay Kruger Ribble, and yes, I sleep with the speaker. Oh, I am. I am his partner in all of our projects, And I am the head of our Standout Marketing Strategies, which is a promotional marketing business. I've been doing it for 48 years. Now, I'm also an actor, and I do have a show coming up, and that's the thing I'm most excited about right now. So it is coming up next week. We have 2 more shows. It's called What She Wants. We are called the Divas, and there are 6 of us, 5 genres of music. It's country, Broadway, jazz, blues, and pop. And we're sassy and fun. We're going to be at Hamilton Studios, and that'll be on the 8th and the 9th. I have tickets here today, so if you don't have your tickets yet, you can get them from me. And it's a blast. We're as I said, sassy and a little uncensored. So it is for adults. But you'll have a great time. It's a party.
I went to the first show.
Yes.
I went to the second show.
Going. Lots of fun.
Oh, thank you.
Also, yeah.
Oh, and I am the Broadway diva.
Wait, you're in the show?
I am in the show.
And Dave's the stage manager.
See,
That's
you know what I'm saying? They don't-
Yeah. He puts a spotlight on me.
I'm the ghost.
Well, and I want to introduce you when we get to that moment. Is that okay?
Are you finished?
I'm done. I'm
Okay.
done.
Okay, I didn't want to cut anybody off.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
But I did want to say, Gay has been giving us notes, and she is usually watching from home. So kind of our little critique, make sure that we're carrying ourselves well, which is a reminder to everybody in the room. You never know when the camera's going to catch you. It looks like it's just looking at me right now. So. Safe, and apparently, there we go. Now we can see Gay. But we appreciate you giving us some notes.
Sure.
And I'm looking forward
I'm
to
happy to.
having you here live and in person. Mike?
Hello world, I'm Data Mining Mike with the Data Mining Minute, and I'm going to talk to you guys about Spokane voter data statistics. The average amount of voters has decreased in Spokane County by 6,000 from last year. That's almost one whole precinct has decreased from Spokane County. Females outvote males across the board historically throughout the nation. That's nothing new. Right now, only 13% of the ballots have been returned for this primary election. It's due August 5th. Get your ballots in. 1952 is the highest frequency age of a voter in Spokane County. There are 220 rejected ballots. Most of those are because they are not signed, or most of those are because the signature does not match. Okay, but the rejection rate is less than 0.5%. So don't worry about that. Also, people not signing them. Additionally, South Hill Library is the biggest drop-off point for the ballots. So if you have something you want to market, you should put the flyer at South Hill Library.
Hello world, I'm Data Miner Mole, and I want to invite you to our next AI event in Spokane, Washington. Click the link to learn more.
Really appreciate the energy in the room and the contribution. I know just from having the folks that are here, and I feel like I say this every week, but I really wish that I could just go back around and endorse what each of you said, with the exception of those of you that I don't know that well yet. But this is an awesome group of people. If you need anything that was just mentioned and they are in that vernacular, reach out to them. They're at the very least, they're going to be a good consultation call to get you in the right direction. But chances are really good that they're going to be able to help you with what you need. So thank you everybody for being here. And go ahead.
Who are you?
Oh, me.
To be trusted to giving out that referral, and where are we at?
Yes, we're at Action Business Furniture. We love Action Business Furniture. They are amazing. Every idea that I bring to them, they're like, yeah, go for it. The little on-air, that behind me, Mike came in with some ideas, and they're like, yeah, drill holes in our walls. We don't care. Like they're just great. And they happen to sell really good furniture, brand new, used. They are getting ready to do a big push into the schools here, where they might actually shut down the location for a few weeks. So if you want some office furniture, get that checked out. ASAP, get down here.
And it looked like they got a lot of new inventory today. Like it looked dramatically different
I
today.
think some of that is the desks for the schools, but yes, they're constantly turning over and they have access to a lot of great things.
And we're on Sprague, is that where we
Yeah,
are?
corner of Sprague and Park. Thank you, Dave. Yes.
And I'm buying today.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we
Yeah.
brought them some business and
We did,
we would love for
yeah.
you to support them
Yeah.
as well. Those of you watching at home. I am Jonathan Byron. I am a realtor here in Spokane. I love helping people have that aha moment with real estate. Real estate is a big, can be scary, hairy kind of a thing to approach. So I like to take all of that out of it and bring a level of enjoyment to the process for people. Just closed with some buyers yesterday and second time buying in this market and just such a great couple. I love working with them. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, or you know somebody that is, just making a lot of money and throwing it all away on rent, I would love to chat with them. So never too busy for your referrals. And thank you for reminding me to introduce myself. And Aaliyah brought the food. Some amazing spinach dip. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you're not going to be able to enjoy it. Everybody in the room, when we're done, don't get up and leave me right now. When we're done, enjoy some spinach dip and some hummus and veggies. Coach Steve approved, yes? Excellent. I am very excited to introduce our guest presenter, Dave Ribble. We met, I don't even know if you remember when we met.
I do.
It was very impactful for me.
I do.
We were having a version of this at a different location, different group, different everything. And Dave walks in, both Dave and Gay walks in, and we did a little roundup like this, and he introduced himself. And I am selective about who I endorse. I'm careful because when I endorse somebody, when I refer somebody, my reputation is on the line. And so I usually go through a vetting process where it's like, oh, that's nice. He's selling. Okay, that's great. Okay, cool. Nice. And then I want to get to know you a little bit. And there are some people that have come into my life that as soon as I see them, as soon as I see how they carry themselves, how they interact with the people around them, I know I'm still going to vet them. But I know right away that this is somebody that walks the walk that they talk. And Dave Ribble, that first day I met you, I was like, that's somebody I need to know. And that's kind of the point of your whole thing.
I kind of felt the same about you too.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. And you had one of your sons with you.
Yeah. Leonidas.
Leonidas was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long ago was that? How many years?
2.5.
2.5 for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Howard location.
It was at the Howard location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many, many memories ago.
Long time.
Which we're actually getting into that contemplative space where we're not talking to the camera. So
No, but the thing that is special about that, to acknowledge it, is as the audience is there, to see the chemistry that is there is really important.
Sure.
So this was good.
Okay, good.
So-
Gay approved.
The other thing that happened was I met Val.
Yes.
And I found out that Val sitting down is still taller than I am. So Val, if you're out there somewhere.
Yeah, our thoughts and love go out to Val. He can't be here with us today, but we love you, buddy. Also realtor, so
yeah,
somebody to reach out to. Can I tell a fun story?
Please.
Which I may be like stealing one of your thunder, but I don't think this was gonna make it into your notes.
I haven't vetted it, but go ahead.
So when I met Dave, he told me that he frequently does this, and sure enough, he does it almost any time that Dave and Gay are in the room. He introduces, he says, and this is my wife, my partner, however he says it, she's gay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm Dave.
She's gay.
She's gay.
And you do that, I've noticed. Yeah.
Every chance I get.
Yeah. So we talked about doing something unique and fun with this conversation. I've kind of left that ball in your court. I think you've got some ideas and thoughts. I'm going to turn it over to you and let's see where this goes.
Well, keep me on track though.
Okay.
I mean, what's the theme of today?
Conscientious connection.
Conscientious connection, but what else did you also say? You said something about art or
Oh, sure. The theme. Yeah. So
the theme.
We've created a new thing. I was leaning back. Did you see that? I was getting in that comfortable. I'm gonna project to the screen.
There you go.
Yes.
I'm directing this now.
We needed a director.
Yeah.
We didn't know we needed it, but we needed this.
What time do you guys have to be back?
We end at 4. We end at 4.
Okay.
Yes. So we're working now on having a theme each week of the month. So this is the first Friday of the month, which means we're going to focus on enjoyment, arts, entertainment, that kind of thing. We got into business because we wanted to have a little bit of freedom. We wanted to break free from the 9 to 5. We want to be able to do something with our time. And as business owners, it's very easy to get so caught up in doing the business that we forget why we got into it in the first place.
Yeah.
And so this week we're focusing on that idea of also enjoying the ride. And so, yes, how does that tie in?
Well, it's going to tie in well, but I want you to make sure that you hold me to that.
Okay.
Okay, because if I go off over Steve Hicks' head and I go out into the atmosphere and start into something else, hold me back.
Okay.
Well, if you get up there, just don't point out the bald spot.
Anyways, thank you. I want to also say that Jonathan and Rob have welcomed me here, and Steve's part of the responsibility for us being involved with this thing too. And I just think you guys are amazing. So,
Here.
Yes.
for those of you who don't know me very well, I'm gonna briefly give you a kind of what we refer to as an origin story, where I got involved with this thing that eventually became a book and all of the other stuff. When, hello, welcome.
Welcome, Gary.
Hi, Gary. I'll be brief about this, but essentially what happened was in 2005, 2006, 2007, everything we were doing in Los Angeles in promotional marketing was working fine. Thank you. It was cooking. I could go out every day and find us new business, and some days I would purposely not do that because we already had too much to work on. We were doing contracts with major studios, Hallmark Channel, Universal, Warner Brothers, all of that, Capitol Records, all of these big names, and they wrote big checks. And I got very used to doing that and being able to pick up on that. I got to the point where I was rather arrogant about it. I even started knocking out things like going after pharmaceutical companies in another state and winning a contract. So I'm very good at cold calling, and I'm very, very good at negotiating with people to get us the business. And then 2008 came along, and 2008 said, no, we don't give a damn about whether or not Dave Ribble is here today to talk to us, because the accounting people upstairs said you can't spend any money right now. And I didn't know what to do about that. I went to my networking events and said, let's get some things going. Let's go some things, Well, Dave, we have the same situation. We can't spend any money either. So I'm looking around at a hostile economic environment saying, okay, where in the world am I going to get new business? And why in the world isn't all of the old stuff that I do every day working? What's going on? And I couldn't understand it. I couldn't get my arms around it. And I had to go to a networking event one Tuesday morning, and it was almost like I was pushing on something. It was like pushing a chain uphill. It's like I couldn't make sense out of it. And while I was there, some things happened for me. One was that I kind of felt like I had some sort of a voice going off in my head. Honest to God, it was kind of like, what is that? And what it was telling me was that I should just put my business cards away, put them back in my pocket, and start focusing on seeing if I could help somebody else. And that was different than I had been. So I went into this thing looking for that opportunity, having gone to 2 of the prior monthly meetings and not seeing any new blood walk in whatsoever. I couldn't find any new business for 2 months straight. I walk into this thing and there are 5 people that I actually ended up talking to and referring to other people in the room that I knew should talk to them. And I'm still waiting on this whole thing to hit me over the head. Like, I'm still not getting any business. I'm going to walk back out of here and I'm going to get to my car and I'm still going to go home and I'm going to say, hey, Gabe, didn't get any more business today either. But for some reason, I felt good. I felt really good. And I didn't know why. And I didn't even like the idea of feeling good. I shouldn't be feeling good, right?
Yeah.
So something happened a little bit later near the end of the whole program. And the whole program, she wanted to be out of there by 9 o'clock, right off the bat. And we had a few minutes before that was going to happen. And she said, is there anybody else that would like to add anything? Hold your hand up. Here's the microphone. Anybody else want to say anything? And this first person that held his hand up was the first person that I had met that morning. He's a contractor. His name's John. He's looking for a realtor. He likes to do the street appeal kind of things to the properties. And I had introduced them, and then I walked away, and I introduced somebody else to somebody else. Second time, I did it 5 times in a row in an environment where there shouldn't have been any new business there at all. And I'm still not, I'm waiting for the thing to hit, and it's not hitting. And I'm going, why do I feel good about this? You shouldn't feel good about that. So the hand goes up, John stands up, says, Dave Ribble, I just want to thank you so much. You're a class act. Sits back down. Dennis, the guy that I introduced him to, the real estate guy, stood up and said, Ribble, I don't know what got into you, but I really appreciate it. How did you know that I needed a contractor and I fired my last one a week and a half ago? I didn't know. Third person, fourth person, fifth person. By the time Diana Williams, the CEO of the chamber, finally cut everybody off, I had 8 out of the 10 people I had effectively involved saying nice things about me. And I'm getting these kind of things as people were leaving the room. And I'm still waiting on this thing to hit. And it's not coming. But what it did for me was I went home and I tried to explain all of this to my business partner, my wife. And I said, I feel really good, man. I really feel good. What is it about that? What am I learning? So that's when I sort of embarked on the idea that I was going to try to learn as much about all of this that I didn't know. And I was trying to figure it out, what my behavior was and what it needed to be and what the difference was. And that's when I started interviewing every client we had, every VP of marketing and sales, CEOs. I'd go to Chapman or someplace to do a talk. I'd corral the professors and say, am I on the right track here? What's going on? What's really going on? And that became this. And I wrote a book called The Way of the Conscientious Connector. And what you'll find in here, if you have a chance to read it, is that story and a whole bunch more. I bring it up and I give you that as a backstory because when you walked in here today, and I'm going to ask you to be kind of honest with yourselves, please. How many of you, by a show of hands, were a little bit nervous coming over here today? Okay, thank you. Why were you nervous? I want to get some interactive thing going here just for a few minutes, but whoever put their hand up, just talk for a few minutes about what it was that caused you to have any kind of up-leveling of your heart. Anybody?
Like for me, can't speak for everyone, of course, but it's just way out of my typical comfort zone. It was a big stretch for me.
Big stretch. Okay. And is there any reason particularly that you have that kind of phobia?
I typically operate better in just remote settings. I have more experience. So like the tangible, physical, like face to face is just, it's foreign.
Yeah, good. Okay. Thanks, Joshua. I appreciate your honesty and being willing to go first here. Anybody else?
I think all anxiety stems from an uncertainty of what the future holds.
Okay, so walking in here, you don't know what's going to happen.
Don't know what's going to happen, yeah. And I know that we have a topic, and kind of like last week's topic was authenticity, and the most authentic way to approach that is to not script something, right?
Sure.
So, and I like that approach, of course, but it does leave the future kind of uncertain.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Like for me, it's just I just always have nerves talking in front of a group of people. It's different if it's like one-on-one, but like presenting to a group of people always makes me nervous.
Yeah. I had one of our students in Stand Up Mastery tell me the other day that there was a nervousness because tongue-tied was the term that was used. I get tongue-tied. I'm afraid I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something stupid. I'm going to say something that wasn't as good as I could have said it. I'm going to lean in on something like that, and I'm going to probably feel very awkward. Awkward is another word that comes up. And I don't want to embarrass myself. So I'd rather stay outside until the thing starts and then come in and find a seat, right? Embarrassment, overcompensate by doing other things. There are some people that you will see at a networking event that will be bold. They will be very loud and they will be very boisterous and things like that. It's because they want to make sure that they're seen and they want to make sure that they're heard and they want to make sure that you understand that they're important, right? We see them. I sat down one day and I wrote down, I think it's in here too, seven different personality types that you'll see at most every networking event you ever go to. And when I share that with the people who have read the book, they go, I saw one. And it always cracks me up because I had to understand that myself before I could really share it with other people. We also think that the person that we are going to be approaching when we're at a networking event, we think that they're probably not going to like us. They're probably not going to approve of what we're wearing. They're probably not going to like our hair. There's going to be something. And they're not going to tell us, which is even worse, right? So we get into these phobias and we get into them because we have been told by parents and well-meaning siblings and everybody else in our lives, don't be cocky, be confident. Don't be boisterous. Don't be out loud. Don't be this. Don't be that. You have anybody in your family that's been telling you that kind of stuff? Yeah, okay. And I am too. I'm an introvert. My brothers were extroverts, and they'd thump me on the back of the head and tell me to shut up. I didn't have an opinion. I didn't have an opinion on anything. And all of those things are walking in with you when you came today. All of them. And a few more that you probably couldn't identify, but if you can, let me know what they are. The inhibitions that come up for us are real. However, they get in the way. And if I can share anything with you in terms of communication, connection, and collaboration that I spend my time thinking about and sharing with the people that are part of Mastery, is that there are frameworks that you can change about who you are and how you approach things. For example, I don't want to go in there and be tongue-tied. How would you reframe that? How would you say that another way?
I want to be articulate.
I want to be articulate. Anybody else? What else?
An opportunity to refine your ability to articulate.
Okay, so you could be trying that out and figuring out better words that you want to use. But what would it mean for the person you're standing in front of? Mm-hmm. Would it mean that they possibly would accept you even more readily than you think they will now?
Absolutely. It could be an opportunity to be proven wrong in your assumptions.
Yeah. Or you could be proven right. What if you come in and you say, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm the best real estate agent that's going to be there today. I already know that. Right? Sure. So if you're setting your mindset, if you're reframing things, there's a dozen ways you can reframe something and have it be positive for you. And if you're going to be, I'm introverted and I'm kind of a little nervous about going in there and meeting people, I'm not making fun of that. I know what that feels like. I have wrote a book on it. Mm-hmm. But what happens is that we tell ourselves before we ever get out of the car, I hope there's nobody there that's going to embarrass me, or I'm going to be embarrassed, or I hope somebody doesn't press me in some way to explain something, and then I get all screwed up on how I'm trying to explain it. and you start programming yourself. You're a one-man band. You're out there in the car just having a great time with 14 people that are affecting your head, right? And what you want to do is you want to be able to say, no, I'm going to reframe that. I'm going to say, I'm worthy. I'm valuable. I have things to share. I'm good people. Okay? We don't give ourselves that kind of an opportunity. And as soon as we can get more people to have an understanding of how that works, and the more we can work on getting people to have that reframing capability, the more this thing is going to cook. The more every time we go into any place, it's going to be a wonderful thing you look forward to instead of a thing like, oh, God. This is Friday and it's 2:30 and Jonathan's expecting me. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just kind of leave it right there for now and just talk about what you want to talk about. I want to see if I can get you to also share with me some of the things that you've gone through. Heidi's one of our students, and it's been so much fun, hasn't it?
It has been. So I had something to kind of add to that. So I've heard that fear and excitement feel the same. But fear is when you're thinking about like worst case scenario, everything that's going to go wrong, people aren't going to like me, all that stuff. Excitement is thinking about what if it goes right, and thinking all the positive things that can happen. And I saw this happen on stage at an event. This girl got up there and she was really nervous, and the person she was talking to was kind of walking her through the process. And you saw how her fear turned into excitement with a change in her mindset and looking at all the possibilities that could go right. Yeah. So I've done that at times when I'm thinking I'm like really, nervous about doing something. I'm like, wait a second, let's think about what if it all works out.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what happens for us with the divas. You rehearse and you think you have everything together, but before you actually go on stage, there is a nervousness that happens that when you reframe it into an excitement, into a vibrational energy that you cannot wait to get on stage and share all that we've rehearsed. It's pretty amazing when it happens, and you can really see the difference when you can click into that. So part of what we do as a group is we actually are together and we focus that energy into energy that shifts and reframes. Dave and I have an agreement, which is that
several.
Well, yeah. True. But we have an agreement about reframing. And the agreement is that if you hear your partner saying something that could be reframed, you gently say, reframe.
Nice. I like that.
When we went in to see clients for the first time, it was really interesting too, because the reframing had happened at home before we ever got there. We're getting ready to go into a conference room where a whole bunch of big shot people are going to say, why are you here and who are you? And we would set it up. We would set ourselves up. And one of the phrases that we would always use is, we cannot wait to get in there and see what we're going to say.
Nice.
Because we didn't know.
We didn't know.
But there's no way we're going to be intimidated by these 5 principles of a very majorly big accounting firm in LA. And that's what happened. We went into this conference room and sat down on our side of the conference room, and 5 people walked in. And the CEO of the company was sitting right there across from me, and he goes, who are you and why are you taking my time? Now, you could freak out a little bit on that. You could. But I said, no, I'm not at all sure that we can help you at all today till we ask you some more questions. Can we do that? Or? Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead. And then it was back to even again. So.
But what Dave, this is a really good point. One of the things that Dave did was he was the one who asked the questions.
Yeah.
and I was going to do the presentation. So he went around the room, found out who everyone was, and asked them what their biggest challenges were in the business. So by the time it went around the room, I knew exactly how to solve the problems that they had come up with. And I had a bag of items that were there, of things that we had done for other people to help them with their marketing. And I only pulled out the ones that would be the exact right things that would solve their problems, and then told the stories of that. We looked like we were their saviors, but I wouldn't have known that ahead of time if he hadn't gone around to ask people ahead of time.
So we did the interviews and that's what really helped it. Asking questions is something that's part of stand-up mastery. We really, I drilled on being able to ask a question and then ask another question based on what you said the first time. You've seen that. You've seen me do that.
I'm curious to jump into that in a practical sense.
Yeah.
And we're talking about like, what are your fears or what are your concerns? So if again, be brave, but like jump in with what's the thing, and it doesn't have to be around this topic of communication, but almost like we're in this, what's the thing that's holding you back? What's the thing that keeps you from picking up the phone and making a cold call, or the thing that you come here, and I think Joshua, you were saying last week that you like bit your tongue. You had something to say, but you didn't say it. So like, what is the thing that makes you like in this moment? And I'm going to throw myself under the bus as the host of this. I have a tendency, I've got all this and I'm like, I love that. I love that. There's reason for that. There's
conscientious
strategy to that, and there's always an ebb and flow. But I'm curious, in the room, what are some of the things that you've identified, or even as you're listening, that you're starting to identify, like, oh, there's something there, and I need to process it.
Well, I was trying to pick my point of time here, because one of the things, Dave, you've been saying that I've picked up on is that fear factor, and Heidi addressed, fear versus excitement. But the other factor that I always recognize is that fear is inward focused, where excitement is outward focused.
That's good.
So it's important, and I do this even when I'm teaching in a classroom. I mean, I'm the professor. They're supposed to listen to me. And I still have to pull away, because like Dave, I'm an introvert, and I've learned that I have to psych my energy up. And what I'm doing is not sitting there saying, I'm great and this is going to be a wonderful day. I'm telling myself, I am about to face 20, 30, 40 people, and I am going to make a difference in somebody else's life. I don't know what it'll be, but it's going to make a difference for them. I have to deliver that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm psyching myself up with.
So can I address that? When you do that, you automatically take it off you.
Yeah.
And as soon as you take it off you, you're comfortable. It's hard to be out here to be of service, right?
Oh, that's really good.
Good stuff. Go ahead, talk more.
Well, I mean, what a great question. I mean, it's the $1 million question. What are we afraid of? And I think if we had the answer to that question, for a lot of us, it would solve a myriad of problems for each of us. And I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the answer is. And I don't know that I've come up with a solid answer. I think for me in sales, because I do a lot of cold approaches, the fear surrounding that is just a fear of overall failure. The hardest part is opening the door and going in and then starting a conversation. But once the conversation starts, it's just a conversation with a person. And I'm not afraid of those.
Plus,
So
you know
what
your
am I
stuff.
afraid of?
You know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
If they ask you about your business, you know.
Yeah, so I don't know the answer to the question. I don't know what is holding me back, but there's something there that is. So I'm trying really hard to figure out what it is. Big part of the reason I'm here today.
Good. Good.
Well, I'm gonna complicate it a little bit more, of course, like I always do.
Uh-oh.
And I'll be mindful, because I know there's adolescents in the room. I think there's a difference between being nervous and being anxious, because I can be nervous, say, about approaching somebody cold and them saying no. I have severe anxiety because of the PTSD that I have. So I am not only trying to battle the anxiety going on in my head, which is things that not about talking to you, because I can talk to you. I'm an introvert too, of course. But it's more about, is there going to be somebody there that I know that knows my ex? I also am very keenly aware of people's energy and their vibe that they give off. And I can talk to you, look at your behavior and the way that you act with somebody else, and I can get a good feeling about you. And my spidey senses, my hair on my arms will stand up around somebody that I get the wrong vibe from. And so I think that we have to think about it a little bit differently sometimes, because there is nervousness. Like, I wasn't nervous coming here today. I know you all, I know there's nobody here, but did I have some anxiety? Of course. Leaving my house every day, I have anxiety. And like coming out here and talking gives me anxiety, just because I know it's going to be shown. And then I'm thinking about who could see it. And these all things are going on in my head. And honestly, that affects sales in a way too, because training sales teams, if you notice, at the beginning of the month, they were much more calm. They were, how they approached their calls were great. Yeah. But as the end of the month and quota time was coming up, you would start seeing a difference, and that's anxiety. That's not nervousness. They weren't nervous to pick up the phone, but they were anxious about the fact that they may not hit quota. I experienced that, right? If you don't hit the quota, you're like, I'm screwed. I'm not going to be able to pay my house. So then you start rushing on your calls, and I could hear it in the teams I'd listen to, right? They start rushing, they're quick. They're just trying to close. And I'd say, slow down. You're letting the anxiety get to you about hitting that quota. And that's actually going to mess you up on hitting it, because what you don't realize is you're talking faster, and I can hear it when I listen to you.
Well, that's another subject too,
right.
is some of that information is all informed by somebody upstairs saying, get your numbers or don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lived that.
That's right. I've lived it too.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Well, I think for me, it's like my inner critic is loud and it's awful. And it took me having a son to go, if I wouldn't say it to him, I need to like reject it because I should. And it takes having that perspective to realize that I'm absolutely sabotaging myself. It's taken some incredible external validation. Like, I know my subject matter. I know it.
Well, we call that value.
Mm-hmm. Well, but it's recognizing it. It's recognizing it in myself. I've had some external validation. I go, I really do know my stuff, but why can't I see it? Because that inner critic is so loud, and learning to reframe that and go, no, and immediately counter it and go, okay, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, are you kidding? I've studied so hard. Like, I know this inside and out. But I have to counter it right away to break that, so it doesn't have that power over.
And that takes practice too. And you'll start to get feedback from people like us that say, "Really glad you're here, Josh."
Yeah.
Andy, you have that look on your face.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear from Mandy. I want to add to that if it's all right. So as you were sharing that, and it's funny because I was just talking to my mom about this today. We literally just talked about this today. And I don't remember where I picked this up. It was probably social media. I read something somewhere. But when my wife, Melissa, who's usually here, couldn't be here today, sadly. But I'll be okay.
I'm flat out disappointed.
I know.
Just tell her.
Love her.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. But sometimes she'll do what you guys were talking about and have that sort of self-talk. And so I picked this up and I love it. And I'll say, I love you, but you need to stop being so mean to my wife.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's really a reframe of like, you're kind of beating yourself. And so we're not married, Joshua. I couldn't talk about my friend. But yeah, like there is an aspect of finding the people in your life that you can call and even just kind of be negative with, say, I can't do the blah, blah, and let them reinforce the thing. And as you were talking, one of the things that's been so helpful for me with this, and it's still a struggle, it really is, it just is, but when I'm feeling intimidated to pick up the phone, or when I have an interaction with a client where I feel like, oh man, I really messed that interaction up, or they called me out on stuff and I feel like I remember the clients that brag on me to me.
There you go.
When the ones that are like, even how you were kind to me today just now, like when I hear your voice in my head, right? And I just bring myself to a space of being reminded of like, oh wait, no, there are people that care about me. And that one person that like, I feel like maybe he doesn't like me or doesn't trust me or like, doesn't matter what he thinks because I've got my people and they like me and they trust me and I've been able to help people, which is huge. When you see the results of, man, I really helped somebody, I'm going to step into that opportunity. And yeah, maybe the next person I call is going to be flat, like they're not interested, they're all the things. I know that I think you're the one that shared with me, I think it was last week you were talking about that.
So I wanted to just, before we move on from this subject, I'm not afraid of no. I'm afraid of 100 no's in a row, which is completely unrealistic anyway. And a lot of these fears that we have, I think, are not real.
Yeah.
Okay, Mandy.
Yeah.
You've been so patient. Go.
Well, as soon as you mentioned reframing, that is immediately kind of what came to my mind is exactly what you were saying of reframing that from, the internal to the external. And I think the very place that you start with that is to make sure that you have full confidence in what it is that you're offering and what you're doing, and that it's something you would feel really good about receiving. And when you then, realign and reframe to how, rather than, oh, well, what if they don't want it? What if this person needed my services? And just because I kept it to myself, you're reframing of the disservice, the thing I need to be scared of is being able to provide something and meet someone's full needs. And I just hid it under a bushel and I kept it to myself. And I think, exactly what you were saying of the, I can hear that you're really trying to peel back the onion layers of why am I afraid? Because I know from meeting with you that you've already done step one. You're very passionate and very confident about what it is that you have to offer. And so I think, then what would be the reason that you're scared? And just from knowing you, I would think that the number one thing that you'd be scared of is that someone receives your proposal or your offering in a disingenuous way. And now someone feels like you are. So I think your fear is just communicating in the way that that person wants to be communicated with, where they fully receive your message. And, that is hard. I think when I peel back the layers of why do I resist asking, do you want to be my partner? Am I going to receive your clients? I do a great job of building it up, but then to ask the question. And if you do, then how do you want me to do that? How do you want me to give you referrals? How would we work best together and actually moving that? But I always feel like, oh, is there going to be a level of, where they're like I think you were mentioning, were they my friend? Not because they're my friend, but because they want the business. And so I think for most of us in the room, we have the passion for our calling. It's just very important to us that we're kind and respectful to the people that we're working with. And I think, that would be the number one why, but how do we reframe that? Well, are you disingenuous? No, I'm not. Do you really want to be that person's friend? Yes, I do. If they told you no, would you continue that relationship? Yes, I would. Well, then I can't be the creator of the universe, and I can't always make sure that my message hits its mark, but I certainly have asked the questions that I know I am genuine. I am in this for the right reasons. So even the few times that it may be received off and you're like, I don't think that person felt what I wanted them to feel. I don't think we agree in a way that I was wishing that we were, but that's because I'm not for everybody. And so I'm going to be genuine and either trying to help that person and being really real of, sometimes the takeaway too of, I'm going to reframe this of, well, I'm not sure I can help you because you need to want me to help you.
Yeah.
So I love all of that reframing.
And what about timing? Timing is also an issue too. You can call on somebody 15 times in a row for 15 years and they're not ready to do a deal with you. And on year 16, all of a sudden they're going, Jonathan, why haven't you called me?
Yeah, so true.
But the other thing that's there is that, but who do they know?
Yeah.
Because timing wise, it may not be a service that I need at this moment, but who do I know that does need it?
Yeah.
So that's where that's where you're just always being of service. That's where you're showing up for someone. And when you reframe that you are always of service, it doesn't matter that somebody says no to you. No doesn't mean no forever. No means no for now. And who do you know? So I really feel that
That's right. I'm not ready for it yet, but I know somebody who is.
that's where Dave comes in. It's always about how he shows up in the world is truly about the book. I mean, I was married to this man before he was the conscientious connector. Now I still loved him, but he's a much better guy now. I'm still married to him because he's the conscientious connector.
Love it.
So we've got about.
Maybe you're the reason.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to brag.
We are better for the people that we surround ourselves with, for sure. We've got about 5 minutes left. There's a few people that haven't shared yet. I'm not going to put pressure on you to share, but I want to give a little space for that because some of us are we jump on it, and others of us are reserved and wait for our opportunities. This is your opportunity if you wanted to jump in with a thought or share.
No, I think I'm a mixture of Paz and Rob. So same idea. Like sometimes I'm not as diligent on my marketing efforts because of when you're trying to get a client and you don't get a client and then you don't get a client and you get those 100 rejections. Like it's very tedious, painful work to get all of those rejections. However, my best social media content and my best marketing comes with the internal external reframe where it's not about me performing. It's not about me gaining. It's not about me doing the marketing, but it's like, how can I, like, what is that like tidbit that I have today that I can share with someone else to help? Like, how can I have more impact? Like, how can I help other people that are reading this and seeing this? Like, what fit tip can I give that gives someone more energy, more confidence? Like, how can I make fitness easier for other people? And then those posts, people reach out and like, hey man, this is really cool. I'd love to
Nice.
Can you help me?
Can I address that really quick? One of the things that very question is what prompted me one day. I sat down and I said, okay, how many different ways are there to stand out? How many different ways could I come up with? I came up with 26. You're welcome to them if you want. Just email me and say 26 and I'll send them to you. But it's 26 different ways. I could probably do another 104.
And just for ease, your email is dave@daveribble.com.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dave, yeah, thank you.
So there's 26 different ways you could have influence on somebody without getting them necessarily to be your client today. But you could have that positive influence going the whole time, just by different ways that you interact with them and touch them and are part of it. So
love it.
Yeah, me too.
So speaking from experience, we can torture ourselves by looking at someone and seeing the outcome of that exchange, or we can disengage from the outcome and just enjoy the experience and offer questions to maybe shine lights on if you're trying to sell something. I find the best way to do it is to not sell and just understand them is usually the better way.
Excellent. Thank you.
I was going to say, Dave, shortly, maybe a year before I had interviewed you for the summit, I had shifted that mindset of, because it used to be I'd go into networking and it was, how can I get clients? It was very scarcity. And I shifted that to how can I just show up and serve? And it's a totally different feeling about how you feel about yourself and the people that you attract around you. It just takes the pressure off. But along the fear question for me, it's the fear of rejection. And you had said it too. Like, why not go out and cold call or go into offices? And it's like a deep rooted fear of rejection. And this is something that I have just uncovered maybe in January, and I can pinpoint it to third grade, right? Really pinpointed. And so I think when you can uncover that root of where was the very initial place where that fear started and you can uncover that, then it's easier to start to reframe. Because if you're never aware of where it came from, you just keep hitting that like same wall over and over. But it's still like something that I'm overcoming, is that fear of rejection, and not so much in networking, but thinking about like cold calls and sales and those kind of things. That is a very deep fear of rejection. When I was a child, it had nothing to do with sales, right? But it plays out in like all areas.
It's one of the other things Katie works on with people when they have limiting beliefs.
So
I just wanted to add, so that's really neat that you were able to pinpoint that. That takes a lot of self-reflection. Something I've learned too is that that feeling is actually just very primal as well. If you go back to the hunter-gatherer days, if you weren't accepted in the group, like you were kicked out of the group. And so you feel, naturally, we feel this impulse to be part of the group. But I just think it's awesome that you found that on your own. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Guys, closing thought?
Just, I love you all, and, you know, if we can ever serve you in some way, we'd love to do that. So.
Let them know that the summit's coming up.
Summit is coming up on the 20th of September. Gonna go back to the Spokane Community Center again like we did before. So we'd love for you to be a part of that as well.
Awesome. And perfect segue. Next week, we're talking about serving, giving back to the community, volunteerism. Kevin Illich is our guest. He's executive director of YFC here in Spokane.
Perfect.
So that'll be a great time next week. Dave, thank you so much. This is exactly what I'd hoped it was more. Thank you again to Action Business Furniture. Thank you to Up and Adam Foundation for providing the food, and Data Mining Mike. Oh, before you do that, which you're going to probably cover this, but those of you hanging out in the YouTube world, the Facebook world, if this was valuable to you and you can think of somebody that would benefit from hearing this conversation, share it with them. Get the word out. This is we enjoy this for ourselves, but a big aspect of why we do this is to share this sort of hive mind with the world. So if there's somebody that you think would benefit from it, we'd appreciate a share. And now, Mike, if you could take it. And Mike, you're going to be gone for 2 weeks. We're going to be missing Data Mining Mike for the next 2 weeks. So if somebody out there has this, or not even close, we need a Data Mining Mike for 2 weeks.
Mandy could do it. Maybe.
I know she could. I know she could. All right, Mike, you're good.
Awesome. I think you guys learned something today, and that's called value. And because of that, be sure to like this video. Be sure to hook up Dave with some page ranking. Check out his links in the video description below. You know, sometimes playing the fool at the right moment is an art. And I will see you guys in a few weeks. Bye.